Hello student, with a pleasant morning. I, at the platform of Shivaji Group of Institution, welcome you all to the video lecture class. Student, in our previous lecture, we will continue the chapter that was in English literature. The chapter was Motanai, but that chapter was completely completed in your previous lecture. So that chapter is skipped. Today we will start your English language portion. In your English language portion, we will start chapter number 4. The chapter number 4, that is degrees of comparison. So student, the topic degree of comparison we study in the adjective portion. Adjective. So first we will discuss about the adjective positive. So an adjective that qualifies, an adjective is a word that qualifies a noun or pronoun. So you can say it's a qualitative or quantitative words, and that is used for denoting, that is used for pointing out nouns or pronouns. Suppose that you are saying someone about something. Suppose that there is a person before you and who is different types of the characteristics into his personality. So how will you elaborate that? So the thing, the quality that we points out exactly the category of the noun. Adjective. Adjectives. These are qualitative adjective and quantitative adjective. So degrees of the comparison. Degrees of the comparison. It is classified into three: positive, comparative, and superlative. Positive, comparative, and superlative. And the positive one. What is the positive one? What is the comparative, and what is the superlative? So when we describe the quality of a thing, of a person, we use the base of the positive form of the adjective. So what is the positive? When we describe about the quality of the person. When we talk about something, the quality of a person, quality of a thing, so we use the positive. We use the positive. That is the base. That is actual. The actual word of the sentence. Actual word. The actual quality of the sentence. Fine. Just like good. It's the actual word. There is no change in the word. It's the actual word. Just like beautiful, ugly, and sincere, intelligent, and courageous, covered. So these are the words that we use as a positive degree in the sentence. These are the actual words that we use to describe someone, that we use to qualify someone. Just like good. And when we describe something by saying that it has more quality than something else, when we compare something to someone, then the comparative degree of comparison is used. So at that time we have to use the comparative degree. The comparative degree tells us which of the two things or people described has a greater degree of the quality mentioned. So in this degree, in this situation, we will come to know which one is better, which one is much better than this. So in the first, you have seen, suppose that Anjali is good, and in the sentence you can say she is better than her friend, like this you can say. And if we talk about anything else, just like the box is heavy, in the second sentence you can say the box is heavier than the basket. So here we are comparing two things. We are doing the comparison between two things, the box and the basket. So the thing is that the actual word, the main word, we use as a positive degree. Fine. When we describe something as having more of quality than anything else of its kinds, we use the superlative degree of the comparison. The suitcase is the heaviest of all the items of luggage. The suitcase is the heaviest of all the items of the luggage. So here suitcase is the heaviest one. Suitcase is the heaviest one, and many items of the luggage are there, but suitcase is the heaviest one. So here we are doing the comparison. We are doing the comparison of many things, but in the comparative degree we are comparing only two things. Fine. Now formation degree of comparison. How will we form degree? So the formation of the comparative and superlative degree of adjective depends on the length of the adjective. It really depends which type of the adjective, which type of the adjectives are before you, which types of the adjectives are using to qualify yourself. It depends upon the particular adjective. Just like here good is written, so I can change it into better. This is the actual form. I haven't added anything with good. Just like good, better, good is like this. No, it's nonsense. So good, better and best. But here, and the same thing, bad words first. But here, happy, happier, happiest. So it depends upon the particular adjective. Here the last letter is Y. That's why I had changed it into I and ER. And then after I and EST. And the last one, enthusiastic. It's a quality of someone. The one who is more energetic. Fine. So enthusiastic, how will you change it? More enthusiastic and most enthusiastic. So the way of changing from positive to comparative and comparative to positive is different, and it really depends upon the particular adjective that we are using for something or someone. So to make the comparative degree of long word, you can place more before the adjectives, and to make the superlative, you place more before the adjective. So it's said here that in most of the cases, when we change the adjective from positive comparative, most probably we put more before that particular word in comparative degree, and most before superlative. Just like difficult, more difficult and most difficult. In the same way, beautiful, more beautiful and most beautiful. And fascinating, more fascinating and most fascinating. Enthusiastic, more enthusiastic and most enthusiastic. Crowded, fine, more crowded, most crowded. So this is the first one that we have changed. Now the second one, to make the comparative degree of adjective that end in Y. The letter Y is deleted, and in the place of that the suffix IER is used. So that is when it ends with Y. Y is here, HWPYY. When the last letter is Y, the Y is deleted, and the place of its the suffix IER. We use IER, which that is the suffix, and when we put anything else in the starting of the word, that is the prefix. Fine. Similarly, to make the superlative degree of such adjectives, the letter Y is dropped, and in its place IEST is used. So you have to keep it into your mind that ER is used in comparative degree and EST is used in the superlative. And Y is always changed to this one, I. So this, and the second one you have to see that funny. So how will you change it? Funnier, FUNNIR, funnier and funniest. Merry, merrier and merrier. Busy, busier, busiest. And friendly, friendlier and friendliest. Happy, happier and happiest. So this is the word that ended with Y. Now the next one, for adjective of 2 syllable or less, add ER to make the comparative and add EST to make the superlative degree. Just like fast, faster and fastest. Small, smaller and smallest. Longer, longer, longest. Hard, harder, hardest, and cold, colder, coldest. This is the new one. Now the number 4. For one syllable adjective that end in a vowel and consonant sound, end in a vowel but having consonant sound, the last alphabet of the word is repeated before adding ER or EST. Just like hot, fat, red, sad and thin. So here we are seeing that end in a vowel and a consonant sound. So in these type of the word, the last alphabet of the word is repeated before adding ER or ES, just like hot, HOT. So here T word is there. This is the consonant sound, and before it vowel is used O, and it is the last word is repeated. The last letter is repeated, not word. Last letter is repeated. That is T. So T is repeated here. HOTTER, hotter, and HOTTEST, hottest, like this. It's like fat. So fat, FAT. The T that is having the consonant sound, and before the last letter A word is used, that is your vowel. So it's clear. but the last letter is repeated here, F-A-T-T-E-R. If the situation is like this, if the condition is like this, you have to repeat the last word, F-A-T-T-E-R and F-A-T-T-E-S-T. Now the red, redder, reddest, sad, sadder, saddest, thin, thinner, thinnest. Now the next one, some adjectives have irregular comparative and superlative forms. Some type of the adjective don't have any particular rules and regulation, just like good, better, worse. I have written before you. Bad to worse, worst. Far, farther, farthest. Far, further, furthest. Old, elder, eldest. Old, older, oldest. So old, that is family member. Old, different age or new group. Little, less, least. Much, more, most. So students, these are the adjectives before you that we have changed into positive, comparative and superlative. Now number 6 one, when we talking about the qualities of two things as being equal, as is used, Mary is as tall as Pala. So if we want to use the positive degree in a sentence, so we have to use as and so as. We have to use as and so as. Just like Mary is as tall as Palak, I'm as good as you, like this. So whenever the sentence is in affirmative form, we have to use as, and when the sentence is in negative form, you have to use so as. Just like I am not as good as you are, I am not as intelligent as you are. So this is the thing before you. The tree is as old as my sister. My father had planted it when my sister was born. So here we are seeing that when we want to use the positive degree in a sentence, we have to use as and so as. The affirmative, when the sentence is in affirmative form, so we have to use so as. When the sentence is in negative form, we have to use so as. Some adjectives like superior, inferior, senior, junior don't have positive or superlative degrees. These words are followed by to instead of than. So some adjectives are like there, they don't have positive or superlative degree, just like superior, inferior, senior, junior, and with these subjects we always use to instead of than. The quality of this rice is superior to the one that you have bought. This is the sentence. This is I'm junior to you, you are senior to me, like this. The quality of this one is superior to that one. So here we are using the only to in place of that. When two things or people are being compared in order to words is Seema is the shortest of the two. Vimla is the oldest of the two sisters. So here we have seen the some rules of using positive, comparative and superlative degree. These are given in chapter number 4, and after it the exercise A, B, C, like this, these are given, D. So we will complete this exercise in our next lecture class. I hope so that you have got it well. If you have any confusion, so I'll make it clear in your next lecture class. That is enough for you today. Thank you and have a nice day to all.
Good morning student, welcome to Shivaji Group of Institution online classes. Student, in previous class we have discussed exercise 3.1. Now today we will discuss its exercise 3.2. So we will start with filling the blanks. First statement is a loudspeaker converts electric energy into sound energy. A loudspeaker converts electric energy into sound energy. Now second statement, during digestion of food, the chemical energy of food changes into heat energy. Chemical energy of food changes into heat energy. Now third statement, during photosynthesis, the light energy changes into chemical energy. photosynthesis, the light energy changes into chemical energy. Now fourth statement, dash energy is released in the form of heat energy when an atom splits. Nuclear energy is released in the form of heat energy when an atom splits. Now student, fifth statement. In hydroelectric dams, the kinetic energy of flowing water is transformed into electric energy. Now student, true or false? First statement is, in electric wind station, the kinetic energy of wind changes into electric energy. Student, this statement is true. Now second statement, the source of energy in atom bomb is its chemical energy. Student, this statement is also true. Now third statement, an electric bulb converts electric energy into light energy only. This statement is true. Student, an electric bulb converts electric energy into light energy as well as heat energy. Now fourth statement, the energy in an electric cell is stored in the form of chemical energy. This statement is true. Now fifth statement, magnetic energy always causes repulsion. Student, this statement is also true. Now student, making correct statement. The first statement is, the energy released during splitting of nucleus of an atom is in the form of light energy. Student, this statement is incorrect because the energy released during splitting of nucleus of an atom is in the form of nuclear energy. So the correct statement will be, the energy released during splitting of nucleus of an atom is in the form of nuclear energy. Now second statement, when an electric current flows through an electric bulb, the electric energy first changes into light energy and then to heat energy. Student, this statement is incorrect because an electric current flows through an electric bulb, the electric energy first changes to heat energy. First changes to heat energy and then to light energy. So the correct statement will be, when an electric current flows through an electric bulb, the electric energy first changes to heat energy. And then to light energy. Now third statement, when we speak in front of a microphone, the light energy changes into electric energy. Student, this statement is incorrect because when we speak in front of a microphone, the sound energy changes into electric energy. So the correct statement, when we speak in front of microphone, the sound energy changes into electric energy. So the correct statement, when we speak in front of a microphone, the sound energy changes into electric energy. Now fourth statement, during the charging of a inverter battery, the chemical energy changes into electric energy. This statement is incorrect because during the charging of an inverter battery, the electric energy changes into chemical energy. So the correct statement will be, during the charging of a inverter battery, the electric energy changes into chemical energy. Now student, fifth statement, during photosynthesis by plants, the heat energy changes to light energy. This statement is incorrect because during photosynthesis by plants, the light energy changes into chemical energy. So the correct statement will be, during photosynthesis by plants, the light energy changes to chemical energy. Now take the correct option. The first statement is, lighting of a bulb is an example of conversion of heat energy into light energy, and electric energy into heat energy, and electric energy into light energy, and both B and C. Student, as you know that the electric bulb, in an electric bulb, electric energy firstly changes into heat energy and then into light energy. So the correct option is D. Electric energy into heat energy and electric energy into light energy. Now second statement is, a vibrating body possesses sound energy, light energy, electric energy and magnetic energy. Student, a vibrating body possesses sound energy. So the correct option is A. Now student, third statement. Energy is neither created nor destroyed in a system is known as law of conservation of mass and law of conversion of mass and law of conservation of energy and law of conversion of energy. Student, the correct option is C, which is law of conservation of energy. And what is law of conservation of energy? Energy is neither created nor destroyed in a system is known as law of conservation of energy. Now fourth statement, flowing water turns the blades of turbine because it possesses potential energy, kinetic energy and both potential and kinetic energy and none of these. Student, flowing water is in motion due to which it possesses kinetic energy. So the correct option will be B, which is kinetic energy. Now fifth statement. When we wind a watch, the muscular energy changes into sound energy, magnetic energy, kinetic energy and potential energy. Student, पहले के समय जब हम लोग के पास जब इलेक्ट्रिक सेल नहीं थे तो हम लोग रिस्ट वॉच यूज करने से पहले उसमें चाबी भरते थे और चाबी भरने के लिए हम लोग मस्कुलर एनर्जी यूज करते थे। जब मस्कुलर एनर्जी यूज करते थे तो वो एनर्जी स्टोर्ड हो जाती थी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी and then it works. So when we wind a watch, the muscular energy changes into potential energy. Now student, match the following. First statement is a device which converts electric energy into heat energy and light energy. The correct option is D, which is electric bulb. Now second statement, a device which converts electric energy into sound energy. The correct option is C, which is loudspeaker. Now third statement, a device which converts electric energy into magnetic energy. The correct option is electromagnetic. Now fourth statement, a device which converts light energy into electrical energy. Student, the correct option is E, which is photovoltaic cell. In photovoltaic cell converts light energy into electric energy. Now fifth statement, a device which converts electric energy into mechanical energy. Student, the correct option is B, which is electric motor. So student, today's class is over. Thank you.
Hello class, welcome to you Shivaji Group of Institutions online classes. Class, yesterday I have taught you chapter 4 Delhi Sultanate. In previous video I have discussed about Delhi Sultanate. Understand? First we discussed about Delhi Sultanate. So time period was the Delhi Sultanate start 12/6 to 1526. Understand? And the Delhi Sultanate divided into 5 dynasty in that time. In first Slav dynasty, second Khilji dynasty, after the Slav dynasty, in Slav dynasty time period is 1206 to 1210. Khilji dynasty time period is 1210. Slav dynasty this time period is 90, 1206 to 1290. Khilji dynasty's time period is 1290 to 1320. Tughlaq dynasty's time period is 1320 to 1414. Shayyad dynasty's time period is 1414 to 1451. And the last dynasty is also called the Lodi dynasty. And in Lodi dynasty's time period is 1451 to 1526. Understand? Now students, we first discuss in first dynasty is also called the Slav dynasty, and Slav dynasty is also called the Mamluk dynasty. We discussed about in previous video that Mamluk words comes from the Arabic words Mamluk, which means Slav. Understand? The Slav dynasty is the founder of the Slav dynasty in Qutbuddin Aibak. Qutbuddin Aibak is the also the Slav of the Ghuri, and thus we say the Slav dynasty. Thus we say the Slav in this year we say this dynasty in Slav dynasty because Iltutmish and Balban were two rulers who is the Slav of Qutbuddin Aibak, and the Qutbuddin Aibak is the Slav of Muhammad Ghori. Understand? So this dynasty is called the Slav dynasty. Thus we say the first founder of the Slav dynasty is called the Qutbuddin Aibak, and after the death of Qutbuddin Aibak we discuss about Iltutmish. Who was Iltutmish? What is time period? तो time period माने Iltutmish कौन था? And time period तो Iltutmish time period is 1210 to 1236. माने Iltutmish का जो time period था वो 1210 यानी 1210 से 1236 तक था. Thus we say कि the sudden death of Aibak माने Qutbuddin Aibak have died in sudden माने अचानक उसकी sudden death of Qutbuddin Aibak left a void which the nobles filled, by the placing his son Aram Shah. Aram Shah कौन था? Aram Shah was the son of Qutbuddin Aibak. Understand? Aram Shah was the son of Qutbuddin Aibak. So many nobles filled this place by his son Aram Shah. On the throne of they wanted on the throne of Delhi to Aram Shah, but he was overthrown. Aibak's son-in-law was कौन था? Iltutmish. Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak, was invited to occupy the throne in 1210. Then thus we say in that time Aram Shah was not ruled in Delhi. In that time Aibak son-in-law Iltutmish have invited to the throne in 1210. Understand? So thus we say कि Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Aibak and the Aram Shah was the son of Iltutmish. Understand? Next point is कि but Iltutmish Iltutmish क्या था? तो Iltutmish proved himself a strong and efficient ruler. Iltutmish ने अपने आप को himself prove a strong and efficient ruler. Iltutmish ने अपने आप को एक strong और efficient ruler के रूप में Understand? He conquered in that time, and उसने conquered मैंने उसने जीत भी हासिल की इस पर मालवा, मांडू, उज्जैन, ग्वालियर, रणथंभौर, as many. मैंने he मतलब इल्तुतमिश, मैंने it means इल्तुतमिश conquered Malwa, Mandu, Ujjain, Gwalior and Ranthambore. Okay, and brought the whole northern India and brought the whole northern India, not मतलब north India की तरफ under his rule, मतलब उसका शासन बढ़ रहा था, increase हो रहा था, यानी इल्तुतमिश brought the whole northern India and whole northern part of the India under his rule. Understand? So, thus we say कि Iltutmish had proved he was a strong and a skillful ruler, and he ruled in Delhi, but he conquered in that time Malwa, Mandu, Ujjain, Gwalior, Ranthambore, etc. Next, understand? Next, achievements of the Iltutmish. Achievements of the Iltutmish, माने Iltutmish की achievements क्या थी? Iltutmish ने क्या-क्या achievements? तो Iltutmish की सबसे achievements क्या थी? कि undoubtedly a great ruler. माने Iltutmish was undoubtedly a great ruler. माने Iltutmish क्या था? कि undoubtedly a great ruler, माने एक great ruler, एक अच्छा शासक था. Shifted, यानी second कि shifted his capital from Lahore to Delhi. Understand? It is the second achievements of the Iltutmish, but it is the second he shifted, meaning he shifted his capital from the Lahore to Delhi. Understand? Next, he saved Delhi Sultanate from Mongol, and Iltutmish saved because in that time Mongol were in power. Mongols क्या थे in power? समय power में थे. तो he saved Delhi Sultanate from Mongol invasions. माने उसने मंगोल के आक्रमण से यानी मंगोलों के आक्रमण से भी दिल्ली को सेव किया. नेक्स्ट, अगली अचीवमेंट जो थी, तो he got his claim to the throne approved by the Khalifa, giving legislator. He got his claim to the throne approved by the throne Khalifa, giving legitimacy यानी legitimacy to his rule. Understand? The next achievements of the Iltutmish was the land revenue system. यानी land revenue यानी जो उस समय land, because every person was a farmer in that time. Yeah, the occupation of the main occupation of the person people in that time in agriculture. So land revenue land पर क्या लगता था? Tax यानी land का लगान, जो tax land revenue यानी land revenue system was reorganized by him. And Iltutmish land revenue system reorganized भी किया. Next अगला, introduce gold and silver coins. Introduce gold and silver coins in that time, which is known in that time as a टका. मैंने उस समय उन्हें टका के नाम से जाना जाता था. मैंने उसने क्या किया कि गोल्ड और सिल्वर के जो coins यानी सिक्के थे, that time is known as टंका. That time known as Tanka. Understand? And the last, Iltutmish was efficient administrator. Iltutmish कौन था? एक efficient administrator था, but he divided. माने एक Tar was administrated by the Tar, and who maintained his ruler या who maintained law and order in his time. माने वह अपने रूलर यानी शासन काल में पूरी तरह से लॉ और ऑर्डर को मानता था. अंडरस्टैंड? तो स्टूडेंट्स, Iltutmish, who was Iltutmish, and what were the achievements of the Iltutmish? Students, now we discuss about Razia Sultan. Razia Sultan, यानी Razia Sultan was the daughter of Iltutmish. Razia Sultan यानी Razia Sultan is time period of 1236 यानी 1236 to 1240. Understand? It is a very short time period, but Iltutmish, she is the daughter of Iltutmish. Iltutmish had nominated his daughter Razia. मैंने इल्तुतमिश ने स्वयं अपनी डॉटर को नॉमिनेट किया था as his successor, मैंने अपना सक्सीजर यानी उत्तराधिकारी बनाने के लिए, यानी इल्तुतमिश nominated his daughter for his successor because he did not think of any son. मैंने वह जानता था कि did not any मैंने उसका कोई भी बेटा, मैंने he did not think any of his son, मैंने his son were not deserve the rule of the India, so he nominated his daughter Razia. Understand? As his Rathi successor because he knew that she was a Rathi successor, मतलब क्या है, योग्य शासक है. But in that time women were very weak condition in society, so the group of 40 powerful Turkish nobles, मतलब उस समय जो नोबल्स जो पावर में थे, कार्ड द चहलगानी, मैंने कार्ड दिस डिसीजन, मैंने इल्तुतमिश के इस डिसीजन को कार्ड द चहलगानी, मैंने उन्होंने चहलगानी कहा था. And did not approve his nomination to Razia, मैंने उन्होंने did not approve, मैंने उन्होंने कहा था it is a wrong decision to Iltutmish. Understand? So they called the Chahilgani and did not approve to his nomination of Razia. Understand? But the achievements of Razia Sultan के achievements क्या थी? तो achievements of the Razia Sultan, यानी Razia Sultan की achievements क्या थी? तो she was brave, मैंने वो तो क्या थी? She was brave, मैंने वो brave थी, intelligent, बहादुर. She was brave, बहादुर थी, intelligent and processed and royal qualities. मैंने she has many royal qualities, मैंने उसके पास कई royal qualities थी. Understand? She used to sit on the open darbar, मैंने she used to in past time या in before in Razia there were no, मैंने women not used to sit on the open darbar, but in Razia in that time Razia used to sit, मैंने Razia ने सबसे पहले open दरबार में बैठना start किया था because she was not wanted to rule as a puppet, मैंने वो केवल एक puppet की तरह शासन नहीं करना चाहती थी. So she used to sit on the open darbar to transact the business. Understand? She even rode horses, मैंने वह घोड़े भी चलाना जानती थी. She was talented woman, मैंने वह एक talented महिला थी. Understand? So now students, Razia was a brave, intelligent and royal and had many qualities royal qualities. She used to sit in an open darbar. She rode the horses. She was talented woman. But after some time, some nobles जो क्या थे under the leadership, माने some nobles was under the leadership of Altunia, माने जो Altunia की leadership में थे, then rebelled against her. माने उन सब ने rebelled, माने उन सब ने रजिया के against में rebelled कर दी. She won over the Altunia, माने उसने Altunia पर भी विजय प्राप्त की by marrying him, माने उससे marry करके. Both of them killed, but at last both of them killed their struggle against the rebel in year of 1240. माने 1240 में both of them, Rani Razia and her husband, both were killed in this defeat. Understand? Now students, today I have discussed about Iltutmish and Razia Sultan, and about Iltutmish and his achievements, Razia Sultan and his achievements. So now students, tomorrow I will discuss about Nasruddin Muhammad and Ghiyasuddin Balban. Understand? So I hope you understand these topics of this chapter, and tomorrow I will explain the next topic of this chapter. Thank you for attending this class.
श्वेता पांडे, संस्कृत शिक्षिका, शिवाजी ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस। बच्चों, आपके 4 चैप्टर्स कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं और आज मैं चैप्टर 5 उद्यानम पढ़ाने जा रही हूं आपको। उद्यानम यानी बगीचा। इसके एक पैसेज का अर्थ मैं पिछले वीडियो में आपको पढ़ा चुकी हूँ। अब नेक्स्ट पैसेज स्टार्ट करना है मुझे, जिसका संकेत है बच्चों वृक्षे से लेकर के भवति तक। ठीक है, 2 पैसेज में या 2 संकेत में ये चैप्टर आपका कंप्लीट हो रहा है। बच्चों, मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि आप अर्थ पढ़ने के पहले शब्दार्थ जरूर याद करें। शब्दार्थ आपकी बुक में दिए, वो आपको याद करने हैं। ठीक है, और दूसरी बात ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि उद्यानम पाठ जो है उसमें प्रश्नवाचक सर्वनाम शब्द है बहुत सारे। आप जितने भी सेंटेंस पढ़ेंगे उसमें मोस्टली आपको प्रश्नवाचक सर्वनाम शब्द मिलेंगे। प्रश्नवाचक सर्वनाम शब्द होता क्या है बच्चों? जिन सर्वनाम शब्दों से प्रश्नवाचक शब्द बनाए जाते हैं उन्हें हम सर्वनाम प्रश्नवाचक शब्द कहते हैं। फिर से सुने, जिन सर्वनाम शब्दों से प्रश्नवाचक शब्द बनाए जाते हैं उन्हें हम क्या कहते हैं? सर्वनाम प्रश्नवाचक शब्द। तो इस चैप्टर में सर्वनाम प्रश्नवाचक शब्द बहुत सारे आपको मिलेंगे, जैसे कति है, कीदृशा है, के है, कथम है, कदा, किमर्थम, कीदृशम। ठीक है, ये कैसे शब्द हैं बच्चों? जो प्रश्नवाचक है, यानी क्वेश्चन मार्किंग वर्ड है और प्रोनाउन है, सर्वनाम है। तो ऐसे शब्दों को हम क्या कहते हैं? सर्वनाम प्रश्नवाचक शब्द। ठीक है, तो आज मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूं इन पंक्तियों का अर्थ। हमेशा की तरह आप संकेत लिखेंगे और फिर अर्थ लिखेंगे। आपको ये संस्कृत की पंक्तियां अपनी नोटबुक में नहीं लिखनी, ये तो आपकी बुक में है। मुझे क्योंकि आपको समझाना है पंक्तियों का अर्थ, इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पर लिखा है। ओके, तो ध्यान रखिएगा कि ये आपको नहीं लिखना है। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। वृक्षे कति शुकाः सन्ति। वृक्षे पेड़ पर, कति मीन्स कितने, शुका मीन्स तोते, सन्ति हैं। पेड़ पर या वृक्ष पर कितने तोते हैं? एकः, द्वौ, त्रयः, चत्वारः, पञ्च, षट्, सप्त, अष्ट, नव, 10। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। ठीक है, पूछा जा रहा है ना कितने हैं, ये लास्ट में इति शब्द भी है। ठीक है, तो पेड़ पर कितने तोते हैं? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। वृक्षे 10 शुकाः सन्ति। पेड़ पर 10 तोते हैं। लास्ट की संख्या कितनी आई थी? 10। तो पेड़ पर 10 तोते हैं। शुकाः कीदृशाः सन्ति। शुका मीन्स तोते, कीदृशा मीन्स कैसे, सन्ति मीन्स है। एक बात और कहनी है बच्चों आपसे कि आप लोग है और है में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं करते हैं। है जो है एक वचन है, यानी एक व्यक्ति के लिए है शब्द। जैसे वह एक अच्छा बालक है तो ये हम प्रयोग करेंगे, और वे अच्छे बालक हैं तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? बहुवचन। ठीक है, तो है के लिए हम इसकी मात्रा के साथ बिंदी भी लगाते हैं। आप लोग इस बात का कोई डिफरेंस नहीं समझते, इसे ध्यान रखें। अच्छा, है बहुवचन है और है एक वचन है। क्लियर? तो शुकाः कीदृशाः सन्ति। तोते कैसे हैं? शुकाः हरिताः सन्ति। तोते हरे हैं। हरिता मीन्स हरे, हरे हैं। उद्याने के भ्रमन्ति। बगीचे में कौन घूम रहे हैं? भ्रमन्ति बहुवचन है तो घूम रहे हैं। बगीचे में कौन घूम रहे हैं? उद्याने जनाः भ्रमन्ति, बगीचे में लोग घूम रहे हैं या घूमते हैं या घूम रहे हैं, एक ही बात है, ठीक है। बगीचे में लोग घूम रहे हैं, ठीक है। जनाः कथं भ्रमन्ति, लोग कैसे घूम रहे हैं। कथम मीन्स कैसे, लोग कैसे घूम रहे हैं। जनाः शनैः शनैः भ्रमन्ति, लोग धीरे धीरे घूम रहे हैं। शनैः शनैः मीन्स धीरे धीरे, लोग धीरे धीरे घूम रहे हैं। जनाः उद्याने कदा भ्रमन्ति, लोग बगीचे में कब घूमते हैं या कब घूम रहे हैं। कदा मीन्स क्या होता है, कब। लोग बगीचे में कब घूम रहे हैं। जनाः उद्याने प्रातः काले सायंकाले च भ्रमन्ति, लोग बगीचे में प्रातः काल और सायंकाल घूमते हैं या घूम रहे हैं, दोनों से। जनाः किमर्थं भ्रमन्ति, लोग क्यों घूम रहे हैं। किमर्थं मीन्स क्यों, लोग क्यों घूम रहे हैं। जनाः स्वास्थ्य लाभाय भ्रमन्ति, लोग स्वास्थ्य लाभ के लिए घूम रहे हैं। उद्यानस्य वातावरण कीदृशं भवति, बगीचे का वातावरण कैसा होता है। उद्यानस्य वातावरणं शुद्धं भवति, बगीचे का वातावरण शुद्ध होता है। तो बच्चों फिर से देख लीजिए एक बार इन पंक्तियों का अर्थ। पेड़ पर कितने तोते हैं, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। वृक्षे 10 शुकाः सन्ति, पेड़ पर 10 तोते हैं। शुकाः कीदृशाः सन्ति, तोते कैसे हैं। शुकाः हरिताः सन्ति, तोते हरे हैं। उद्याने के भ्रमन्ति, बगीचे में कौन घूम रहे हैं। उद्याने जनाः भ्रमन्ति, बगीचे में लोग घूम रहे हैं। जनाः कथं भ्रमन्ति, लोग क्यों घूम रहे हैं, सॉरी कैसे घूम रहे हैं। कथं कैसे, लोग कैसे घूम रहे हैं। लोग धीरे धीरे घूम रहे हैं। लोग बगीचे में कब घूम रहे हैं। लोग बगीचे में प्रातः काल और सायंकाल घूमते हैं या घूम रहे हैं। लोग बगीचे में कब घूमते हैं, लोग बगीचे में प्रातः काल और सायंकाल घूमते हैं। लोग क्यों घूमते हैं, लोग स्वास्थ्य लाभ के लिए घूमते हैं। बगीचे का वातावरण कैसा होता है, बगीचे का वातावरण शुद्ध होता है, ठीक है बच्चों। तो इस तरह से उद्यानम चैप्टर 5 इस संकेत के साथ बच्चों आज पूरा हो रहा है। इसके पहले का संकेत मैं पढ़ा ही चुकी हूँ, ये दूसरा संकेत मैंने आज आपको पढ़ाया है। आप शब्दार्थ याद करें, उसके बाद इन पंक्तियों का अर्थ पढ़ें और लिखें, तब आपको बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझ में आएगा। इसके बाद मैं बच्चों आपको इस चैप्टर की एक्सरसाइज कराऊंगी, ओके। हाँ बच्चों, तो ये संकेत पूरा हो गया। मैंने आपको बताया कि मैं इस चैप्टर की एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व कराऊंगी। इसके पहले मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि बच्चों ये जो उद्यानम चैप्टर है, इसमें आप देखेंगे कि इस चैप्टर की स्टार्टिंग में ही किम शब्द के रूप लिखे हुए हैं। बच्चों संस्कृत में किसी भी शब्द के रूप जो हैं वो तीनों लिंगों में चलते हैं, ठीक है। जैसे किम जो है प्रश्नवाचक सर्वनाम शब्द है, तो इसके भी किम शब्द, किम मीन्स क्या, तो किम शब्द के भी तीनों लिंगों में रूप दिए हुए हैं आपकी बुक में। किम पुल्लिंग, किम स्त्रीलिंग और किम नपुंसकलिंग। तो आप इन रूपों को अच्छी तरह से पढ़ें, क्योंकि आपको आगे ये बहुत काम आने वाले हैं, ठीक है। संस्कृत में जितने ज्यादा से ज्यादा आप रूप याद कर लेंगे, आपके लिए उतना ही ज्यादा जो है वो लाभकारी होगा, ठीक है। क्योंकि किसी भी विषय में अगर आप व्याकरण आपकी बहुत पुष्ट है तो विषय को समझने में बहुत आसानी होती है। तो आप ये किम अच्छी तरह से इनका उच्चारण करें और उसके बाद इसको याद करें, ठीक है। और इसका अर्थ आपको लिखना है, और जो मैंने याद करने को बोला है, सिर्फ ये नहीं कि मैम ने कह दिया काम खत्म, आप इसे याद जरूर करें, ठीक है। और तब तक आप इन पंक्तियों का अर्थ लिखें, उन रूपों को याद करें। नेक्स्ट वीडियो में मैं आपको इस चैप्टर की एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व कराऊंगी, तब तक आप अपना कार्य पूर्ण कर लें। धन्यवाद, आपका दिन मंगलमय।